Government officials.
And you are here.
Spotlight.
They gonna like get down off of the balcony, sir.
Learn how to say no and not allow it to affect you in any way. Mm-hmm. Like you have to be stern in your decision. Mm-hmm. I don't know what are you talking about? Like in my, like as I'm
How
young,
old were you? Yeah, around that
I was
time.
12. So I'm like stern in your decision. Like what are you talking about?
When all you're trying to do is fit in at the time.
Like I'm trying to be accepted. You're
right.
not in these streets.
Yeah.
Like these dudes will kill me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's in my mind. I'm like you upstairs and you playing basketball. You playing my dad's a bass player. Like you playing the bass. You know my mother's a singer. She's touring. You know like y'all not in these streets. Right. I'm in these streets and I see if I don't learn how to adapt, I'm gonna die out here. And that's what I feel like they didn't see. So I had to find a way to balance. Yeah. Giving them what they want and be and allow myself to survive in the environment that I was in. Mm-hmm. So my dad, being the genius that he is, gave me this pamphlet that he found that, you know, showed me how to say no in a way that doesn't allow the person to be either on defense or want to, you know, strike or do anything to hurt me based on my no. You know, because we know there's principle.
Absolutely.
So, you know.
So it seems like your pops taught you the skill of diplomacy, like very early on.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how has that helped catapult your career into what it is now? How did you incorporate that?
To be transparent, a lot of people are still alive. To be honest with you, because it doesn't take anything to kill anybody. I mean, to be honest with you, when you feel you're disrespected and your livelihood is at stake. Yeah, like a lot of people are alive for disrespect on levels that go beyond this conversation. But you know, my mom's always would say to me like, you gotta kill people with success. You gotta kill people with kindness because they know what you're capable of. Let them die breathing. It doesn't make any sense to waste that energy when you can use all that energy on evolving into the person that you know you're targeting yourself to be.
Absolutely.
And I just stayed on that path.
Wow, amazing. Tell us a little bit more about your parents.
Well, I got dope parents. You know, to simplify, like I got really amazing parents. You know, and they're not perfect, which makes them perfect. Because it was their imperfections and the situations that I had to experience with them that shaped the person that I am. And I've learned not to take fault for the things that I've experienced as a child, you know, due to them just being young, you know, parents. Like I wasn't raised with my biological father. My dad, who I keep referring to as my dad, is my dad. Like he stepped in when he didn't have to, and he did the job.
I am a big Bolivar watch wearer. I do not wear any other watch. I don't jack none of that other shit. That's just not me. I just like Bolivar watches. This is a nice one here. But yeah, that's what I jack. It's a conversation, tell you that. And I'll be at certain places and I got all kind of different Bolivar watches. So when I'm at the barn, I'm getting me a little wine or something and I got the right watch on. It just creates a conversation because they're not expecting me to know what the fuck a Bolivar watch is. You know what I'm saying? But look it up. They actually like the masterminds behind a lot of watches. They did watches for Swatch. They did watches for a lot of people. Like they did collaborative watches with a lot of people. So I like Bolivar watches. Yeah. And their designs is dope. And a lot of their watches, if you see some of their designs, it's very similar to Rolex and all that shit. I think the only watch I got outside of Bolivar is Marc Jacobs. I just recently got a Marc Jacobs sport watch. That shit is hard.
My dad always said we live in parallel worlds because, you know, I wound up being that to two kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in a relationship. It didn't work, but I just stayed connected to, to my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I look at them. Like, that's my children. So, I didn't see it that way. But you do reflect what you've been around, how you say who raised you. Like, they didn't do the best job, but they did the best job.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like
you wouldn't be sitting here in this chair.
No, like
if it weren't for the exact experiences that you went through when you did.
And my mom's like, she saved my career. Like, she put her career on hold for mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I feel indebted. You know, like, it's like, yeah, I gotta make this shit happen because she could have been touring. My mom has a beautiful voice.
Wow.
And she was like, I'm not gonna let what happened to me happen to you. And she stepped in, and because of her, I own all my publishing, I own all my masters, to everything that I've ever released. You know, I can read contracts, I know the business. All of these things came from her tutelage and my dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, I would, like, me and my dad used to hang so much. Like me and my dad would, smoke with each other and everything. Me and my mom, like, the first time I actually, I didn't, not the first time I smoked, but she knew I was getting high, like, so to speak. And
she didn't judge you.
Nah, she was like, if you're gonna do that shit, I'd rather you do it here.
That's right.
So that way I know nothing's gonna happen to you. I know what you're smoking, I know what you're doing, but your friends can't smoke here with you. Not unless their parents know that they smoke. My mom's wasn't with it. But that saved my life. Because I know a lot of friends who had their weed, tampered with, and they never came back to this day. So, I have amazing parents. I mean, there's so much more, that I could say about them.
You can't cover all that.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm your Namaste.
That was pretty fucking good, man. Good,
right. You're in the same situation that your father was in. And even though they're not your biological children, I'm interested in knowing sort of who they are, if you could just talk about them a little bit, and how they have factored into who you are as a person and who you are as a success.
Well, in total, I have 3 children. I have my biological son, who's 26 right now. And then I have, the children that the universe sent, as I like to say. And when I met their mother, she was modeling. I suggested that she model, and she started modeling. Things happened, and we became a couple. But the kids, I actually grew fond of the kids before, me and her situation actually came about. So I was already, close with the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, my daughter gravitated to me quickly, you know what I'm saying? Before she even knew she was gonna be my daughter, And it never felt like a job. It never felt like a responsibility. It just felt natural. It felt as natural as it was for me raising my son, which wasn't easy because of just the differences that I was going through. Being a young father, I had my son at 17, and I think his mother was 19 at the time. So just the mental differences, and then coming into a record deal, and then touring the world. Wow. So there was a detachment to some extent, where there was just certain pivotal points in my son's life that I missed.
Right.
And I think that affected our camaraderie even to this day, because I haven't spoken to my son in about 3.5 years.
Wow.
And when I did speak to him, it was more like, nah, I don't have an issue with your dad. You know, like I just feel like he's just seeking his own independence. Like he's just trying to find himself. I'm just staying out his way. You know, he knows, and I'm here. You know, I can't take but so many trips up there to get the same answer. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to smother him either. He's 26 years old. I know what I was doing at that age. You know what I'm saying?
So if there's something though that's gonna be, you know, documented forever,
Right.
that you have an opportunity to say something to him right now, even if you're not here anymore,
Right.
what would it be?
That I'm proud of him, and that even though he may think that I'm not proud of him, like I'm extremely proud of who he became and who he is. You know, like I always brag about my son. You know, like that's why I decided to drop my album on his birthday of this year, because it was him who gave me life, and that's why I decided to call it life. Living isn't for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like having a child isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it isn't. And I didn't know what responsibility, you know, is. You know, I didn't know what that was or is until I had my son. And he gave me responsibility, gave me life. Like he gave me the reasoning to live, because I was suicidal. I did not want to live. I didn't feel like I had purpose at one point. There was times I didn't even like looking in the mirror at myself. You know, I've attempted suicide in my life and it just never worked out that way. And
I can't let you get away with that though. You know, like if you're comfortable.
yeah.
I'd like to hear more about that. What was going on in that period in your life?
I just, you know, I didn't feel accepted in the world. Like I just felt like an outcast. You know, I didn't even feel like accepted even in my own home. You know, and that was just my own aberration. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that aberration just came from me looking at everything outside of myself. You know, you look at other people's situations and you try to covet, you know, their dynamic, you know, versus you know, and not realizing how good you really have it, you know, and I, you know, I was living in my head a lot too, you know, and I had to go through a lot of transition to come out of my head to realize like, yo, you need to be around. And I think after the second time, you know, and it didn't work, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm here for a reason. I'm gonna knock it off. I'm not gonna make myself a victim of circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do that to myself. That's what I said to myself. Like, at a young age, I said, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm gonna make sure that whatever it is that I achieve in life, I'll be the poster child for that. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. I just stayed on that path. I never thought about killing myself again. I love the hell out of myself. You can't tell me I ain't the sexiest nigga. You know, it took a long time to get here, but you know, we here.
Government official.